Hi, welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. I am having a wonderful day. I hope you are. The sun is shining. Sweetie Bear, my little fur baby, is sleeping, and I'm really looking forward to this week's segment. I am going to be interviewing Martha Bolton, who co-wrote a book with Linda Hope, who is the daughter of legendary comedian Bob Hope, and they together put a book together. It's called Dear Bob, and it is about Bob Hope's wartime correspondence with the GIs of World War II. Really fascinating book. It contains letters and correspondence with the GIs from World War II. You know, Bob did such great work for our GIs during World War II. So stay tuned for that interesting interview. And also today is National Chip and Dip Day. So I will be sharing some healthy recipes for chips and dips. Stay tuned and remember, share with us, what does food mean to you? You can share that in a post of 50 words or less, or an audio soundbite of 60 seconds or less. Post on social media and hashtag it the Maria Liberati Show, and you could win an autographed copy of one of the books from my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. And all of the books in my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, can be found at marialiberati.com and artoflivingprimamedia.com, and really anywhere that you can find books online. And also wanted to remind everyone to join me for an Easter bread virtual cooking class. I will be doing that on April 2nd at 2 p.m. It will be live on Zoom, and you can register at my website. If you go to marialiberati.com, I will have as a special guest with me Chef Joe Borio. He's going to be also doing another special delicacy for Easter, a sweet delicacy. But I'll be doing my lemon ricotta Easter bread that I picked up when I was doing my PBS series in Amalfi and Positano with those luscious lemons of Amalfi. So please join me for that. And again, you can find a link for that event to join up. Registration is limited, and I think we still have a few more spots. It's on April 2nd at 2 p.m. So if you want to get in the Easter or spring spirit, it's actually a great spring bread, whether you celebrate Easter or not. It's great also for Mother's Day. I know Father's Day is coming up as well. Go to marialiberati.com. You'll see the banner on my front page, or go to eventbrite.com and you can look up the event there and sign up. What does food mean to you? Well, today, March 23rd, the day I'm recording this, but you can celebrate it all week. It is National Chip and Dip Day. So we're celebrating one of the happiest marriages in the culinary world, chips and dips. They definitely go together. And to quote Alton Brown from the Good Eats TV series, a dip is defined based on its ability to maintain contact with its transport mechanism over 3 feet of white carpet. And the possibilities are endless for today. You could celebrate with salsa, with hummus, with chutney, with tzatziki, with spinach and artichoke dip, crab and artichoke dip, fruit dip, onion dip, clam dip, beer and cheese dip, Texas caviar, and one of my favorites, guacamole. And you know, I like to always keep everything a bit healthy. So I'm going to share with you today my recipe for a healthy olive and guacamole dip. So to make this olive guacamole dip, and stay tuned, I'm going to be giving also some suggestions on making healthier chips instead of using, the same old deep fried potato taco chips. So I'll be giving some suggestions for those healthier ones. And the season for having picnics, Tuscan picnics, especially in the spring, are creeping up on us again. So get ready. Dips are always great to have on hand. For the olive guacamole dip, all you need are 3 ripe avocados, 2 garlic cloves, the juice of 1 freshly squeezed lemon, and a half a cup of black olives. So you're going to chop the garlic and olives and then add that to the mashed pulp of the avocado. So you want to mash those avocados first and mash all that together. Dress with lemon juice and a drizzle of olive oil. You can also add salt and black pepper to taste if you would like. And you're going to serve this with some of these healthier chips I'm going to tell you about shortly. Or, you can use it as a healthy sandwich spread. Instead of mayonnaise, you can use this dip as a healthy sandwich spread. Dips and their assorted dippers are something of a party or picnic food staple. There are a seemingly endless number of options, especially when you start trying new combinations. One of the great things about dips is that there are lots of healthy foods that taste fantastic when you dip them. So some of these may be obvious, but they may be so obvious that you might not have thought of using them. Carrots. Carrots are a fantastic option and a healthy option for a party dipper. They're good for you, and in their raw form, they stand up pretty well to most dips. In fact, carrots are best eaten raw because cooking them reduces nutrients that they hold. Raw carrots are an excellent source of vitamin A. They're especially great for chunkier dips because of how solid they are when they're raw. Their sturdy build means that you don't have to worry about them breaking under all that tasty dip. You may find that a good guacamole dip, like the one I just gave, pairs particularly well with raw carrots. Pita chips. If potato chips are one of your go-to dippers, give pita chips a try instead. They can be a great alternative, not to mention healthier. Pita chips tend to have less fat and salt than other types of chips, which may help you consume fewer calories as an added bonus. Pita chips can be great dippers for warmer dips, especially if the chips themselves are warm too. They're sturdy enough to support the dip and will also handle the heat well. Try pairing it with a spinach and artichoke dip. Hummus is also a pretty classic pita pairing. And of course, the olive guacamole dip I gave you is great with this as well. And with so many different flavors of hummus alone, odds are you'll never be without something new to try. Zucchini chips. Zucchini chips are one of my favorites, and they're another great chip alternative. In its raw form, zucchini offers a substantial amount of vitamin C and is considered a fairly low-cal vegetable. Among other healthy benefits, when turned into chips, they tend to be a fairly thin, delicate dipper. As such, zucchini chips are best suited for smooth, creamy dips. Hummus is a great option, as can potato or onion dips. Different combinations will obviously create different flavor profiles, so feel free to mix and match until you find your favorite. But yeah, zucchini chips work great with the smooth, creamy dips. As fun and tasty as it is to dive in and devour vast quantities of less healthy foods, it's important to balance that out with our healthier choices. The good news is that you don't have to sacrifice taste for health when it comes to indulging in dips and their accompanying dippers. Feel free to experiment and see what sorts of fun combinations you find. And please share that with us on social media, on my blog, on my podcast page. If you have a suggestion for a recipe for a healthy dip or another healthy chip, share that with us, share a photo with us, and hashtag it the Maria Liberati Show, and your post may be part of my blog, my social media, and you may win an autographed copy of one of my books from the Basic Art of Italian Cooking book series.
For Women's History Month, again, we are honoring some talented women, and we have such a talent with us today. We have Martha Bolton, who is here to tell us about a special book, Dear Bob, that she co-authored. But Martha is the first woman staff writer for Bob Hope, writing for his TV shows, personal appearances, military shows for approximately 15 years. She is an Emmy nominated writer and author of, oh my gosh, 88 books. Martha, how did you have the time to write 88 books?
Well, a lot in the middle of the night.
Yes, I can just imagine. I can just imagine. That's wonderful. And she's the author of Dear Bob, and I'm so excited. It's the #1 new release in literary letters on Amazon. Martha, welcome. Thank you for
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be on your show and getting to talk about Bob Hope.
Yes, and Martha, I'm just going to start it off with a question that I would have. What was it like working with him? Just if you could describe it, and I guess a little bit, if you could tell us a little bit about that.
You went back and forth between thinking, because he was so nice, and you could go up and talk to him about anything, and he was just an everyday person. And so you went between thinking he was like your uncle and then you'd have some event in some arena with a flyover and marching bands, and then you realized who it was you were writing for. Or you'd go into his dressing room to have a line change, and he's in his makeup chair, and there on the sofa would be Lucille Ball, George Burns, Milton Berle, and then you knew who you were writing for. It was incredible. It's so hard to describe, but he was so nice, and he was also this other person that the entire world respected.
Yes, such a treasure. I think you really would consider him a treasure. So how did you get the idea to do this book with Linda Hope, his daughter?
Well, back when Bob was alive, and we were working on shows, and there was this one assignment to look through the military letters, and I started looking through them and could not believe what I was reading. I knew the depth of his relationship with the GIs, because anytime a veteran would come to the show, or we'd be out somewhere and a veteran would come up to him, you could tell the love and respect between the two of them, the veteran to Bob and Bob to the veteran. So we all knew that. And whenever we would have veterans on the show, and the speeches that they would give, the tributes that they would give to Bob, so that was well known. But in reading these letters of the GIs of World War II, the depth of that relationship was something I didn't realize, and really not very few people did. It is so unbelievably close. It's no fan celebrity letters. Every one of them are to they're writing their buddy, they're writing their best friend. He's writing back to his sons and daughters. The closeness of them and the things that they would tell him, and how he would treat them just like one of his kids, and encouraging them and swapping jokes with them, and going into the hospitals, and they'd write him after he had come to their hospital, and they'd tell him how much it meant to them, and how it inspired them to get back on their feet. And it's unbelievable. So I spoke with Bob and told him that I thought it would make a great book. And he shared what the letters meant to him, and he agreed that it would make a good book. So he asked me to get in touch with Linda, his daughter, because she grew up with the letters as well, and they were close to her heart. So we met and discussed it and started working on it, and got pretty far along. But what happens is you get onto other shows. He was always so busy, and you get onto other shows, and then different things happen. But unfortunately, Bob passed away, but neither one of us ever gave up on this project. We always wanted to do it. So a few years ago, Linda emailed me and said, "Do you want to get back on that project?" And I couldn't believe it. I was so excited because, this is one of those heart projects that you just want to do. And we finished it, and we were hoping it would come out last year, but I think the timing's even better to come out this year, because after 2020 and everything that everybody went through, we are so ready for hope and so ready for what this book represents.
Yeah.
And I think it's still, you know, how Bob Hope was always known for his timing. And I think he's still doing it because I think it came out right at the right time.
Exactly. And 2020, if I'm correct, was the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Is that correct?
Right, right.
So this
And
is a great way to
uh-huh.
celebrate it, even though I think there probably weren't a lot of celebrations because of the pandemic, correct?
Exactly. And actually, 2021 is the 80th anniversary of Bob's first military show at March Field in 1941. So we have anniversaries all over.
Yes,
And
definitely.
so
And yes, I agree with you. I think I did read some of the letters. I got to read some excerpts, and it's I think it's an inspirational book that we definitely do need something like this to come out during this time, at this time. I think it's
right. I think we all need it. Yeah. And you
yes,
know, he's still encouraging us. Isn't that nice?
yes,
Bob Hope, his words are still
exactly. That's
encouraging
what,
us.
and it's wonderful. It's so nice that it sounds like he knew about this project, right, before he passed on.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
knew about it, and which is really nice. Also, so did he? I know you said he actually. I mean, he was so busy. He got to respond to the letters as much as he
Right.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And at the height of the war,
Mhm.
in the World War II, at the height of the war, he was receiving 38,000 fan letters a week.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yes. So you can imagine, but he answered as many as he could. And thanks to his secretary, Marjorie Hughes,
Yes.
saved not only the letters, but she saved Bob's carbon copy. Remember the old carbon
Yes.
and the onion skin paper?
Yes.
He
Yes.
saved a carbon copy of his replies. So it's a treasure that her and Bob left us. So
Yes.
it's very, very special.
Yes, yes. So do you, I was going to ask, what do you hope that these letters reveal about Bob Hope to everyone?
The letters?
Yes, what do you hope? Is there anything that you and Linda might hope they reveal about Bob to the world?
I was surprised again at the depth of the relationship that was there, and the stories that no one would know about unless you read these letters. Now, there was this one letter from a GI that was writing because he was writing to thank Bob, and this is what he was thanking him for. He and his company walked to the show that Bob was putting on in their area. And they had to walk 10 miles. And by the time they got there, there were so many thousands and thousands of GIs already sitting on the dirt, sand, whatever. They couldn't hardly see him, and they couldn't barely hear him. So they just turned around and started walking back. Well, word of that got to Bob Hope. And after the show, he got into a Jeep with some of his crew, and they went out and they found that group on the road, and they parked and put on a show in the rain for 40 minutes just for that group.
Oh, how wonderful.
And you'd never know that because Bob didn't announce the things that he did behind the scenes.
Right.
And he would do that often. He'd do the one show for the 38,000 sitting up on the side of the hill. And then if he heard about another group that was off on some remote area or isolated island or whatever, he would see to it that he got over there to entertain them. Just a small little group. It could be 50 people, and he'd do it from the back of a Jeep or a truck.
Wow.
He was so committed. He took commitment to a whole new level. The GIs absolutely took commitment, and anybody that was in that war to a new level. And then Bob was right there with them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, such an inspiration, and definitely an inspirational book that, it's definitely good. I was thinking it's definitely a good gift for, Father's Day, Mother's Day. What a great book. What a great, for any holiday. So
exactly.
Tell us where I guess we can find it anywhere online, right? Because I know it's on Amazon.
Exactly. Anywhere online. If you have a local brick and mortar store, they might have it in stock, or they could order it for you. So it's good to support them. And the publishing company is also a place where they can get it, and that's the University Press of Mississippi.
Yes.
And it's just that, you just type that in, it'll take you right to it. So
yes, and is this book connected to the Bob and Dolores Hope Foundation?
Oh, absolutely. They're very supportive of it. The whole team has been behind it. Everybody has done such an incredible job helping us get this book out, and that's just the whole group that I used to work with, and they've just gone above and beyond, and we've all wanted to make it the best, like you say, love letter to Bob as we could, and I think I like to think he would be proud.
Yes, I do also. Thank you. Martha, thank you so much. It's definitely inspiration that we all need right now. And thank you so much. And as I said, I would recommend this as a gift to anyone for any occasion, or just at any time to give a really special gift. Thank you again, Martha, and much success in your book and all your books. And I'm sure you'll be writing more, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Martha. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. This is Maria Liberati. Special thanks to my producer for this week's segment, Britton Roselle. And don't forget to share your photos of this week's recipe. The recipe will be posted on my blog at marialiberati.com. Share your photo, hashtag it the Maria Liberati Show. Your picture may be selected to be shared on my blog, or you may be selected for an autographed copy of one of the books from my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Don't forget also to share with us your answer to the question, what does food mean to you? I've had so many guests share their answer, and you can listen to some of the other episodes and hear some of my guests, what their answers have been. But I'm sure you all have a special memory, a special food memory. So please share that with us and hashtag it the Maria Liberati Show. Post 50 words or less on social media. If you'd like to have an audio soundbite posted, a 60-second or less audio soundbite telling us what does food mean to you. Again, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, posted on social media, like my show, or posted on my blog at marialiberati.com. And if your quotes are used for an upcoming segment for the Maria Liberati Show, you'll get a copy, an autographed copy of one of the books from my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Also, I wanted to remind everyone that we're going to be starting a segment to honor a lot of the restaurants. There are so many restaurants out there, and some unfortunately are closing, having to close. Some are still surviving, and we'd like to honor restaurants by having a special restaurant of the week, and can be a restaurant from anywhere around the world. If you have a restaurant, or if you have a favorite restaurant, you need to just share your restaurant with us on social media, like the Maria Liberati Show, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show on social media, and your restaurant may be selected as our upcoming segments for restaurant of the week, and we are going to select some of those winners for an interview on the Maria Liberati Show. Maybe you have a special recipe you'd like to tell us, or a special history. So many restaurants have a lot of history associated with them, so maybe you'd like to share that with my listeners. So please, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, and your restaurant could maybe selected as restaurant of the week. If you have a favorite restaurant, tell them about this, and maybe they'll be selected as restaurant of the week. And don't forget, you can follow me at, let's say, on Twitter, it's Maria Liberati with a capital M. On Facebook, it's Chef Maria Liberati. On LinkedIn, it's M Liberati. And on Instagram, it's Maria Liberati. and my blog and website, marialiberati.com. And don't forget to like the show. The Maria Liberati Show is heard wherever podcasts are heard. So please like us and follow us. And don't forget, as mentioned, if you have anything you'd like to share, you can share with us also on social media, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show. And my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking and The Basic Art of, all available at marialiberati.com and anywhere books are sold online. This is Maria Liberati saying peace, love, and pasta. Till next time.